Hello everyone, this is Nate, also known as Big MC Nate, back again here for another YouTube video. And it's pretty obvious what we're going to be talking about today, isn't it? Well, if you guessed that we're going to be talking about this new 2024 Honda SuperCub, you'd be correct. So this beautiful piece of equipment is a 2024 Honda SuperCub C125 with front wheel ABS. Normally I don't dive into tech specs on bike intro videos, but today we will. It's rocking somewhere between 8 and 9 horsepower out of its 124cc single-cylinder thumper motor. It has ABS in the front wheel only and a drum manual brake in the rear. It's averaging roughly 118 miles per gallon with the 1 gallon of fuel in its fuel tank located under the seat. I bought this bike brand new in the beginning of June with 14 miles on it after my test ride, and it's currently sitting at 194 miles, shy of 1 week later. The Honda SuperCub, if I recall correctly, has averaged over 100 million units sold. I'll have to go back and try to find the article I read that in, making it one of the most sold vehicles of all times, and I can really understand why. Riding the Cub is dead simple. It has a 4-speed semi-automatic gearbox. Semi-automatic meaning there's no clutch for you to operate. Inside is a centrifugal clutch, so anytime that you roll off the throttle, you're able to press down or up to shift down or up accordingly, and roll back on the throttle. It's very easy to ride. For the price point the SuperCub is built to, it has superior build quality and it features a keyless system. The keyless system, while basic, is still pretty neat to see on this price bike. There's a switch here for your ignition. You push it to wake the bike up. The bike is now waiting for you to do something. You then twist it forward to turn it on, and then the dash initializes. The dash is very simple. You have an odometer and then 2 trip meters. The bike otherwise is definitely very akin to a motorcycle. You have your standard high and low beam switch, your turn signals, not self-canceling, horn button, ignition kill, and your starter. The SuperCub all the way around is LED by default. Again, on this price point of bike, I would say it has superb build quality. And it's just amazing to me why more manufacturers aren't putting LEDs on this price point of bike by default. It makes no sense to me in 2024 why we're still including incandescent lights on most bikes. I wanted to film the introductory video on this bike before too long. I've had almost 200 miles of fun on it so far, and I wanted to make sure I could show the bike in its most stock form. At least as stock as possible. I've already got some accessories for it, more are coming today, and I wanted to ensure that I could get this video put out before I started getting too carried away with the accessorization. Just to go over what I've done so far, I've put my quad lock mirror stem mount on it so I can put my phone up on the lock. I've put 1-inch grip puppies on both the handles. Makes a huge difference. Down here in what I guess I'd call the tunnel, I've put a metal rack, and it's very well secured on here. I got this off Amazon. Anything I have here I'll put in the description below. As well as this is a motorcycle handlebar bag from Kamimoto, but it secures down to this center rack here very well. There's a wasp there. It secures down in the center rack very well and works a treat to carry paperwork, wallet, keys, and a battery bank until I can get a USB charger installed on this bike. The fuel tank is hidden under the seat, and there's a button on the left-hand side here that flips the seat up and exposes the fuel tank. Going down the line of accessorizations, I've got the rear rack from Honda. It should be arriving today. And I've gone ahead and ordered an oversized Puig windshield as well. I'm spoiled by the Harley, I'm spoiled by the cruisers, and I do want to get as much air off of me as possible. I'm not worried about cold weather yet, but I do know when the autumn and fall hits, or when the autumn and winter hits rather, I'm going to be wanting to ride this bike still, especially since it's just so cheap to operate. Fuelie is reporting this bike costs about 3.4 cents per mile to operate. The owner's manual calls for 87 octane fuel, and quite frankly I think that's all this little fuel injected motor needs. But as something of a test, I've already ran one tank of 87 through it, but this tank here is ethanol free 90 octane. So I am curious to see if it makes much of a difference. On the red Suzuki TU250, I did notice a slight performance benefit from the ethanol free 90 octane, but I'm curious to see if the same applies to this SuperCub. So the bike is armed and ready. Let's go ahead and see how it sounds. And let's go ahead and turn it off. Part of buying this bike meant I had to sell another bike. I have one butt and can only ride one bike at a time. It doesn't make sense to me to have more than two. I say that now, but watch me change my thoughts on that later. So we say goodbye to Susie, the 2009 Suzuki TU250X. It is sold to one of my best friend's mothers, and I hope she's going to enjoy it just as much as I did. I thank you for watching this video, wind noise and all. I tried to record this video once before, but I was not happy with how it turned out. I was definitely far too rushed. So I wanted to redo this video with the proper camera and actually take my time doing it. As I get more content for the Cub, I will certainly be putting it out. Don't fear though, Tales from the Road King will definitely be continuing just as soon as Captain Jack the Road King returns from his doctor's appointment. Road King's been in the shop for a little over a week now, awaiting fuel line related parts. The mechanic seems to think he's got the issue pinpointed. Now we just need to see if we're talking fuel line, fuel pump, or something else that's gone wrong. I'm gonna go ahead and leave y'all here with a final shot of the SuperCub. As soon as I can get all of the camera gear mounted up to it, we'll be certain to take it for a ride. I'll have a ride impressions video coming soon. So remember, if you liked the video, give it a like, give it a dislike if you didn't like it, but be certain to drop in the comments if you didn't like it, why you didn't like it. Until next time, thank you for watching, and I'll see you in the next one. Oh yeah, and by the way, who wants to see me take this on the scooter Cannonball Run in 2025?